Let's learn how to use the checkbox in Netbeans GUI. Create a new project and click Next, and we'll call it Checkbox. Make sure the Create Main class is unchecked. Finish, and we'll come over and create a new JFrame form by clicking on the package area, right mouse click, New JFrame Form, FRM Main, and click Finish. And then I'm going to change the layout for the frame to be absolute, and I'm going to drop a panel on there, resize my panel, and make the panel's layout by right mouse clicking and choosing absolute. And then I'm going to drop a checkbox on there. Now this checkbox is really made up of a box plus a label. Not that we care, but it's just interesting. I'm going to right mouse click on that and change the variable name, and I'll call it CB receive emails. Click OK, and then I'm going to change the text inside of that checkbox. Right mouse click, edit text, and we'll say receive emails with the question mark. And then we can go ahead and run that, and it'll prompt us to set the main class. We'll go ahead and use the one that we created. Click OK. We run that program, and now our checkbox allows us to check and uncheck. Notice we haven't even written any code, and the functionality is already there. But let's see, how do we actually work with it now. I'm going to close that. I'm going to drop a label on the form just to show the output from that checkbox. I'll drop a button on the form so we can check and see what the value is when it's checked. So when we click on this button, we'll just see is it checked or not checked, and display the value in that label. So I will right mouse click, change that button to be btn check, and right mouse click, choose the edit text and say check the status. And I'm going to give this label a name. I'll call it LBL status. For this checkbox, I'm going to go ahead and right mouse click on it and choose an event. Once again, you can choose action or action performed, or mouse clicked. I'm going to do mouse clicked, and I drop down here, and I can now work with that checkbox. So let's go ahead and use our label that we typed in, label.status, set text. Now we want to go and grab the value to see whether or not that checkbox is actually checked. Well, I think one thing I'm going to do a little bit differently this time is I'm going to do it like I would do in source code, which would be if, and then we'll use our checkbox name, which was receive emails. If it is selected, then I want to go ahead and set the text to be I am selected, else LBL status dot set text I do not want your emails. So what it says is, if the status of the checkbox is selected, or in other words there's a check in it, then we're going to go ahead and set the label text to be I am selected. Otherwise we're going to say you're not selected. Let's go ahead and run that and see how it works. Drop down here. Right now it's not selected, so it says I do not want your emails. Now it is selected. It says I am selected. So all you really have to do working with the checkbox is use the isSelected method to determine whether or not it's selected. The other thing I want to show you about that checkbox, if that's selected, that you can look at the attribute called selected, and that allows you to start the checkbox with a check in it or not having a check in it.